All right, all right, all right. And we are live. Yo, yo, yo. Tell me what you know. Welcome to the Sunshine Show. Woo! You guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, pig, dogs, cats, monkeys, everybody in the building tonight, this afternoon, this morning. Because that's right, the Sunshine Show is worldwide. I have a very special guest for you all. I have the most fabulous, the most amazing, the one and only, the most Bowie, the most Harry Scary of them all. I have Harry Scary of the Space Pistols in the house. What's up, Harry Scary? How you doing?
Yo, hey, what's happening, peoples? Very grateful to be here this evening with y'all to share a little bit of the bass universe, the bass vocabulary, a little bit of the spicy pistol side of life with y'all. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're human. Hope you're treating yourself like you ought to treat yourself.
Some of us are human, some of us are part human, part alien.
Woohoo!
So, what have you been up to today? Whereabouts do you live?
I live in National City, California, San Diego, just about 10 minutes from the world famous Casbah. Like one of my that's actually like my home bar place where I hang out, and thanks to one of the best talent buyers, one of the best music community people in the world, Mr. Tim Mays, brings bands from all over the world to the Casbah. And I am so grateful I get to hang out there and see some of the best musicians in the world all the time. I'm like right there in the center of it all. I'm grateful.
Very nice. So you're in San Diego. I'm actually in Santa Cruz. So we're not too far away from each other, but I would say about a good 8 hour drive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very nice. All right, Spike, Mike, let's talk a little bit about Space Pistols. Is this your band? Is it your friend's band? I'm sure all of you guys are friends in the band. Tell me a little bit about it.
Spice Pistols actually came to be. Spice Pistols came to be as a result of a couple of things. Part of that would be okay. Now, any sensitive viewers probably want to cover your eyes right now. It came to be as a result of the Belly of Doom and trying to figure out what I was going to do with that. Exercise and diet. Those are the typical like run of the mill kind of solution things, and there's Oreos and there's chocolate shakes and discipline. Yeah. And some of those things work from time to time. But then there's bass guitar. And then there was a band that I saw called the Schizophonics. And they're a local San Diego band that is just tearing up the world. Last night they opened for Jack White at the Palladium and just crushed it. And they're good friends of mine. And when I saw Pat Beers, the guitar player, play, I went, holy shit. Like, how is anybody going to compete with these guys? At the time, I was in a band called League of Liars with my good friend Michael Fairchild, who is maybe Baby Spice and Spice Pistols. And I was like, okay, so like, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to find a solution to this situation? And I was sitting at home about 3 weeks later, kind of mulling over this situation. And all of a sudden on Messenger popped up this notification, and it was one of my friends, two of my friends on a group chat in Messenger. And there are these female musicians that are really, really good. And they said, hey, we need your help. We're putting together an all-girl punk rock band, and we're trying to come up with a concept and an idea and a name for this thing. And can you give us a hand? And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. So we start throwing around ideas and, going back and forth. And I went, I got it. You guys can do Spice Girl songs, Sex Pistol style, and call yourself Spice Pistols. And one of the girls came back and said, there's no way I would play those broads' music. They suck. And I went, well, screw you guys. I'll do it in drag. And I had this image of me in the Harry Scary outfit, kind of like the flyer picture. And I literally gasped and fell off my chair and couldn't stop laughing for like 5 minutes. And I spent the next 3 days questioning my own sexuality and whether or not I would be okay with dressing in women's clothes, seriously dressing in women's clothes on stage, doing this. And after 3 days, I said, okay. And I hit up about 20 of my friends in the local music scene, and I asked them all what their thoughts were. And everyone said, dude, this is pretty brilliant. You have to do it. Like, you have to do it. And there was a friend of mine, John Risden, who I had met about 4 years earlier. And he had told me he was a singer, but hadn't done anything for over 20 years. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, if I come up with something, I'll hit you up. And I called him up and I went, what do you think about this? And he paused for a moment and he said, you know what? I love that. Let's do it. And I hit up Michael Fairchild, my guitar player in League of Liars. And he was like, sounds like fun. And I knew a drummer named Mikey Von Dial, who I was playing with in a country western band, believe it or not. And he was like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of playing slow. And we started rehearsals. And that was in late 2016. And on April 1st of 2017, we had our very first gig. We were the last band. I like to say we were the headliner of the Whatever 68 Radio Festival here in San Diego at the Bancroft. And we played before a packed house. And the next gig that we played at the Whiskey A Go-Go. And that show, we played there, then we played at the Casbah for Tim Piles for one of his shows. And then the next show, we were back at the Whiskey A Go-Go and we opened for Agent Orange. And Agent Orange liked us so much that their bass player and their drummer hit me up after the show and said, here, call Scott Weiss at Atomic Music Group. We really like what you're doing. We'd love to play with you again. And as I sent Scott Weiss a fan video of the show that we did. We were the very first band of the night. We played at 7:00. And so I sent him this video, right? And I didn't put anything in it other than the video. I just, in the header, I put, Perry Giordano said to send you this. And that was it. And I sent the video. And like 20 minutes later, I get this email back from Scott Weiss. And he says, you guys are the ugliest bitches I have ever seen. I love this. Call me. And so the next morning I call him up and we started talking and you know, like they say, the rest is history. And you know, since then we've toured across the United States and up and down the West Coast and you know, we've done America's Got Talent. And of course we got Simon Cowell himself hit every buzzer and bounced us on at the very first tryout part and on live TV. And you know, it's been a blast.
Oh, wow. Sounds like it. Speaking of Scott Weiss, but not the Scott Weiss you're talking of, we have Scott Weiss of Underground Roots Clothing in the chat. What's going on, Scott? How are you? Thank you for hanging out. So the Spice Pistol, half Spice Girls, half Sex Pistols. Now, this is a brainchild of all brainchilds right here, Spike Mike.
Thank you very much.
Loving this. I apologize for calling you the Space Pistols. In my head, I kept saying space. It's the Spice Pistols. We got Andy all the way from Canada. What's going on, Andy? Thanks for hanging out with us. Damn, Spike, that is quite the story right there. I'm kind of loving this background. I really wish that I had the video from the America's Got Talent, though, so that we could show that at home. So next time you're hanging out, we definitely got to pull that footage up so that we could do a little talk about that. That must have been a lot of fun. How did you guys get that gig? Or was it just kind of you try out and they call you back?
Well, actually, what happened with that is a friend of mine told me that they were having open auditions at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium. And like basically you could walk on and, you know, show up there, walk on and do the thing. And so I grew up, my mom was an actress in local theater in Huntington Beach where I grew up. And so I have a little bit of clue about how theater works and, growing up around it all the time. And so I went, wait a minute, there's got to be something more organized than just, yeah, of course you can walk on and get an audition. I went, they got to have something else going on. And so I sent one of our videos to the producers and I said, this is us. What do we do to get on your show? Blah, blah, blah. They sent me back and said, wow, okay, we have open audition on this date, but you guys don't have to wait in line. You're bypassing everybody else. Show up, talk to this person. We're going to take you right downstairs. Be prepared to do a 90-second version of 3 of your songs, acoustic, no electric, and that's what you're going to do. So we show up at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium, and so we show up, we do exactly what they tell us. We had acoustic bass, acoustic guitar. Our drummer, Mikey Von Dial, found this battery operated electric drum pad thing. And we sang without mics and we showed up and we did Wannabe and we did a 90-second version of it. We walked in, there was 8 producers behind laptops in the basement downstairs. We walked in, their jaws were dropped because we're all dressed out like the 5 characters. And which the names of the characters are Harry Scary Spice, Maybe Baby Spice, Ginger Binger Spice, Slosh Posh Spice, and Shorty Sporty Spice. So we walk in, we're all decked out. We take our spots, boom, go into our thing. And by the time we're done, we blew them away. And sure enough, we got the spot to come back and film and do the audition on the actual TV show. And an interesting thing happened during the time that we did that and the time that we actually went back and filmed. So in between everything, the producers started contacting me by email and they're going, okay, so we gotta, our producers have this other idea that we want you to do. So instead of us doing 3 weeks before your actual appearance on the TV show, we're going to do the segues where it starts talking about you, where you're going to be in plain clothes instead of in drag. And we're going to do a pre-story about you guys being a bunch of old, because we're all in our 50s and 60s, right? So they basically set up this false story of us just being a bunch of old guys that are retired that put the high school punk rock band back together. And that's what we were bringing to America's Got Talent, was the old reformed punk rock band from 1975 or whatever. And so they've created this fake story, and that's what they wanted to film all this backstory of. And they created the script for us to talk about, which was corny, hokey, just the lamest damn thing in the world. I mean, I'm supposed to be Harry Scary Spice, right? So I'm supposed to be the tough guy in the group, right? To the point where when we were filming, they had me throw this chair at the camera, which I got to tell you, it was actually quite satisfying to throw a chair at a $150,000 camera and miss it by this much. And the camera guy was like, come here. And he showed me the piece of video where it just missed it. And I looked pretty mean, kind of Hulk-like, which was super fun. But we didn't get to get any of that footage, and they never even used it. So all of that, we got to experience the heartbreak of Hollywood and the cutting room floor and all that kind of stuff. But if you go on, and maybe I don't know, you can find our stuff on YouTube, and we can talk more about that, when I come back on another time. But that was part of that experience that was really neat, to get to do, you know, I mean, and all this just because I put on a bikini. I mean, I guess I'm that attractive.
I mean, I feel like it's so much more than you just putting on a bikini. We also got real quick Jordan Branch in the house. Hello, Janet. We got my bestie Jordan Branch and my bestie Janet Easton in the house. Thank you guys all for hanging out. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, make sure to put them there in the comment section. I think it's so much more than you just like hanging out in a bikini. I feel like Spice Girls, Sex Pistols, just men in general in bikinis, you know, it kind of is, it's very spicy. It gets people's attentions, definitely. And then I think your costume in general, do you wear the same costume every show, or how does that work?
Well, actually, I've had a couple of different, I've had some wardrobe changes. And one of the things, okay, so that question has prompt that I must share with you something that I'm extremely proud of. We've unveiled this at the last 3 shows. And so now I will bring to the world the piñata base.
Oh, yes. Let's do this right now. Oh, this is amazing.
Now, this is my brainchild, but created and built by Dude Craft Guitars, James Nelson. And so the way this came about was as a result of me getting yelled at by people because I love to smash guitars. I would go out and find a Craigslist guitar for $50 and build it up to play well enough for 1 or 2 songs and then smash it at the end. And people would approach me and go, dude, quit destroying instruments and give them to kids at schools or something. Like, come on, what are you doing? And so I got the brilliant idea, and I will say brilliant because I'm being a smart ass, but I decided to build the center of the instrument that would fit inside of a piñata so that I could smash it and spray candy on the audience.
Okay, that is like, whoa, my mind's blown right now. Blown.
And so this is a solution where everybody's happy. And no, I'm not going into politics. But yeah, like that's Dude Craft Guitars, my buddy James Nelson, who he and I designed guitar instruments together. And like the guy is an extremely skilled artisan, luthier. He builds everything by himself, by hand, one at a time. He focuses on one instrument at a time right here in Chula Vista, California.
Everybody in the chat is quite impressed with the piñata guitar. Now, have you debuted this instrument at a show yet, or is it coming to a show near you soon?
Yeah, actually, we have used it 2 shows so far, and so when Spice Pistols is headlining, when we are headlining and not a support act, then yes. And it does include a wardrobe change because it's utilized partway through the set, normally towards the end, like a 2/3 in, and there will be some sort of distraction that happens where, you know, I don't know, maybe I need to go to the bathroom or something and they won't let me. And I get upset and I smash the piñata bass and leave the stage. And then someone that plays bass returns to the stage. Sometimes it may be, there's actually a, let's call them a phantom member of the Spice Pistols who will be known as Frankenspice, that joins us from time to time when we utilize the piñata bass, for when I must leave the stage to utilize the piñata bass because it must be destroyed, and then there's the theatrics involved with all of that, and so, you know, therefore I Harry Scary Spice leave the stage, and then there's Franken Spice comes up to play for a little while, then will leave for one reason. I can't tell you the whole thing. You got to come to a show.
Okay, then no, you don't have to give it all away, but I really feel like for your next trick, you need to have your outfit change. Come out of the piñata base. Okay, whatever outfit you're gonna change into next,
Yeah.
you need to fly out of the end of the piñata base and then somehow wrap that up into your show.
We may be able to incorporate that. I will tell you that the current skit involves balloons. It does involve balloons, and yes, in a very creative manner.
Scott Weiss wants to know: is that guitar gluten-free?
Actually, no. The candy's sugar based, and so you're responsible for your own diabetes.
All right, Jordan Branch wants to know: what is the most favorite guitar you have ever smashed?
The one I smashed on stage at the Belly Up in my banana hammock. Yes.
Did you say banana hammock? Did you? I mean, I don't know. Okay. Please rewind back to banana hammock and continue from there, please.
So this is the story. You asked about if I had the same wardrobes for every show. There's a green Mike Watt Reverend Watt Plower. This instrument, this is a replacement for two that were destroyed in a house fire. My favorite bass of them all, this is the most playable, is the Mike Watt Reverend Watt Plower. And so I was playing this and using this before I designed the Dudecraft Harry Scary bass, the offset heart design.
Wait, is that your signature bass?
This is one of my signature basses. And I will throw a link with a whole list of what's involved in these in the comments later. So the story of the Belly Up favorite smash bass was I was wearing my bright green leopard hot plants, and my custom made bra was my outfit for the night. And so we get to the Belly Up, and we're loading in, and everything's fine, everything's going great. And so we start doing makeup and getting ready to take the stage and do our thing. And I get my suitcase out, my beautiful tattered old beater suitcase, and I realized that I'd left my hot pants at the house. And I did not have my hot pants. And I had my top, and I had my Scream Skull codpiece, but I did not have, and I had my fishnets, but I did not have my freaking hot pants. But fortunately, I had my bright green banana hammock. And so the show must go on.
The show must go on.
I played the Belly Up stage in my bright green banana hammock, and there is video evidence of me doing that. And there's a GIF floating around somewhere with me wiggling my butt, dancing with a smashed bass right in front of it, right there on the Belly Up stage, and some amazed fans looking up at all of it. And I'm very proud of that.
Oh my goodness, you sound like a real good time. I cannot wait to come and check out Spice Pistol.
Without handcuffs too.
What's that?
Without handcuffs too.
How often do you guys play?
You know what? We typically get in probably we average at least a show every other month, if not every month, throughout the year. When we tour, we run for about 20 to 30 shows at a time when we run on a tour. Right now we're looking at doing Upper Midwest again in 2026. We're looking at a spring summer tour, trying to get back out to the East Coast again. kind of depends on what's going to happen with a lot of things right now. Um, we have recently, because of, we're in that place where you're going from, like, we've really been supported as a direct support band for the last 5 years. And so now we're making the jump to a headlining band. And that jump is it's a serious test. Like, and I mean more financially than anything else. And because we've had the support of doing the direct support gig, it's been a good thing because we've gotten exposure via built-in crowds, being able to support bands that have a following. And trying to develop your own thing and move forward and all that's great. So now it's really, to younger bands, I mean, the truth is you got to face your fears and you got to step up and you just move forward, and it's an investment in time, energy, and money. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. We got Dana Wilson. He says, dude's got wicked style. All right. Love that.
Thank you, bro.
My mama, Sandra Cantu, in the chat. What's up, Mama Cantu? All the way from Kingsville, Texas. Hanging out. Love you, Mama. Let's see. And we got Gilbert Barentes all the way from Houston, Texas in the chat. You guys, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, drop them right there in the comment section. We have the one and only Harry Scary of the Spice Pistols in the house. Yes, that's right. Spice Girls times the Sex Pistols. What? You heard it right. So I want to talk about that arsenal of basses that you have behind you. What was your first one, and how'd you get started on the bass?
That's actually an interesting story. So as far as what's here, well, let me talk about how I got started on bass first.
Okay.
Like many of us bass players, I started on guitar. My draw to guitar was like everybody else. I liked music and I liked the sound of it, but I also really liked girls, and the opportunity to try to, impress them with, talent and style and all that. And, so it was one of those things that I wanted to move towards. And so I started learning how to play guitar, and I started trying to figure out what kind of guitar I wanted to play. And I don't mean what kind of the guitar to play, but what style of guitar and all that. And I decided I wanted to be a lead player, and I was practicing and learning how to play lead, and nothing really kind of stuck. Nothing really kind of fit. And then I got invited to come audition for a band with some friends, and I went and I played, and I brought a bottle of Jack and my Flying V, and we played and we partied, and we all drank my Jack, and everybody's like, dude, you're really cool, and we want you in the band and stuff, but we need a bass player. Go get a bass and come back in 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. And I went and borrowed this old Beetle bass, had action like 1.5 inches high, and I started listening to music differently. And I realized that the reason why I wanted to be a lead player is because I wanted everybody to like me, and I wanted everybody to pay attention to me at the front of the stage, ripping stuff off like Jimmy Page, right? And when I started listening to music differently, and I started listening to it, more intently, I realized that what I really liked about it was the melody lines. And what kept me interested was the beat. So it was the rhythm section the whole time that I really felt, and what really interested me with it. And so I started paying more attention and studying the rhythm section more. And, the beat was natural. I moved to it. For a white guy, I dance really good. Sorry for the racial thing, but so it's that, it's always been that part about music that moves me, because I move to it, and it's the beat does that. And then when I started studying how music is layered and how it's built and how it works, what the mechanics of it, which I build cars, and I've always been interested in math that way, and so it all just fell in place for me. when I started really listening to bass guitar and how it works and how it creates the melody and how it supports the rest of the music and how the drums work with the bass and how space is created and given and taken and how the communication between all the other instruments and the players works when you pay attention to it, when you listen to it, when when just the entire communication structure of bass guitar and drums and regular guitar and rhythm guitar and lead guitar and vocals and how everybody participates in the conversation, like it just really fired me up, and then it made me really want to work hard and practice and learn. And so my first real bass guitar was an Aria Pro 2. It was a P bass copy. It had P jazz pickups. And actually, when I had that, it was back in, holy crap, I'm old. This was in like 1987, 88. And at the time, I was hanging out with Mark St. John of Kiss, the guitar player. And he helped me do an update and rebuild on it. And we went through and painted it and did the neck and did a whole bunch of stuff. And I was playing the hell out of that thing. And I learned a lot from him about the structure of music at that time too. And yeah, that was the first real bass instrument that I had that I really played and learned a lot about bass and on that instrument was that one. And while we're talking a little bit about vocabulary and you mentioned the stuff behind me, there's one instrument so there's a lot of emotional attachment here to these particular basses. And in 2021, October 5th, my home was burned to the ground. And I lost 34 instruments that I had collected.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's life happens.
Was it the California? Was it the fires that just happened recently? When did you say the date was?
It was 2021.
Oh, 21. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so this was 5 years ago now. It's coming up on 5 years. 4 years. Yeah. And there was a lot that went on with that event and some that it was very painful in a lot of different ways. There was some betrayal that happened from a roommate at the time that stole a GoFundMe and a bunch of stuff. And I'm still healing in a lot of ways. But there was also some really beautiful stuff that happened. And I want to share about one instrument here. This is a 12-string bass. I had purchased a bass similar to this one, the same model from this company, Music Box. The models that they build, their general, the way they do it is they design a model and they'll make a 6-string guitar, they'll make a 4-string bass, a 5-string bass, a 6-string bass, an 8-string bass, and a 12-string bass of the model, and they'll make it in, I think, 4 or 5 different colors.
Okay.
And then they'll put away the model. And they won't make them unless it's a special order, right? They don't. That's how they produce stuff. They're like a boutique builder.
Okay.
And I had ordered and had them build me this instrument, this model instrument, and got it delivered and was playing it and enjoying it. And when the fire happened and it was destroyed, I contacted Matt at Music Fox and let him know what happened. And he told me, you know what, Mike, we appreciate you. And what we're going to do is we're going to make you another one. And if you close up on the number, well, it's upside down. He said, we're going to make it 002. Can you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. And so that's a small example of how people kind of supported me throughout the recovery from this fire. Watt flower that I was showing you guys earlier. Mike Watt did a benefit concert at the Casbah for me. And Ken Haas at Reverend, there was a 1.5 year waiting list for these basses. Ken was able to call and talk to a couple people and got that one pulled from the production line and got it to me. Because I've been friends with Ken for about 10 years.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of people that really love you a lot.
I guess when you're not an asshole, people kind of have a tendency to rally in your corner,
Yeah. You mentioned Matt from Audio. Wait, what was the name of the guitar? Music Box.
Music Box, yeah.
Yes. He also, my friend Michael Laredo plays those guitars, I believe, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike was a monster on promo. I mean, that guy, talk about promo and stuff.
Yeah, I've had the been able to interview him a couple of times, but that's how I met Matt, through Michael.
Yeah. And their product is amazing. That thing, like the one before and this one, I leave it up on the wall or in my case. I barely have to touch the tuning. Everybody's like, you have to tune that thing. Must take you a half hour. I'm like, dude, you have no idea. This is an extremely well-built instrument. I almost never have to touch the tuning. And I recently joined another project called the Strangulators, which we can talk about more. Or I'll put a link in the comments here a little later. Really, really well-written record by a friend of mine, Joe McCaskill, who was in a band called Pony Death Ride for a number of years. You can look that stuff up on YouTube, as well as the Strangulators. But he put this record together back in Virginia about 8 months ago with members of Iggy Pop's band and Ruff Francis, and recorded this record before he ever put a real band together. He just wrote this record from after he read a bunch of 50s noir, I can never say that damn word right, paperbacks, like with titles like Planet of the Knobheads, Mother Finds a Body, You Can't Unmurder Somebody, like all these crazy titles, and wrote these rad punk rock songs, and was moving back to San Diego, and he hit me up and said, "Hey, do you want to be in this band?" And I'm like, "Send me the record." And so I listened to it, and I'm like, yeah. So I'm playing a 12-string bass on it, and we're like, it's insane. I'm like having so much fun with that. That 12-string, it sounds like a calliope on crack. It's like nuts.
Wait, it sounds like what on crack?
A calliope.
A
pipe organ.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
It's got a very pipe organ-y sound, and playing it punk rock, double picking and hitting it like really heavy and hard, and using, like, I'm not using a lot of distortion. I'm using a little bit, and I'm cranking the middles on it. The way it cuts through with the guitars and the bass, the guitars and the drums, it's just working really, really well. And we'll begin playing live in the next 2 months around San Diego and other areas of Southern California.
Nice.
LA, Orange County.
And what's the name of that band one more time?
The Strangulators.
The Strangulators.
The record is available on all of the platforms. It's on Spotify and iHeart and everything else.
Very cool. So how many other bands? See, now I'm hearing myself. Now I'm hearing feedback. I'm hearing myself back in the microphone. So how many bands are you in?
Well, right now I'm currently working and playing in 3. Another band that I'm playing in is called Split Rail Fence, that is also signed to Pacific Records, as Spice Pistols is. Split Rail Fence is a very 3-chord alternative country, truth and message, straightforward. It's this part of the story I love the most, because my dear friend and the singer creator of this band, Ron Rice, always turns to me, like, there's 2 songs where he turns to me and he goes, "One note, Mike, one note because yeah, I like to riff, and you know, the bass melody. Come on, man. And he's right. Like there's the emotion that he wrote the words to, like requires that you carry the note, and you know, so I'm learning how to, you know, because the whole point behind the vocabulary and the different instruments is to play to the song. Like you're not playing for your ego. You play to the song.
Exactly. And that is one thing that I wanted to talk to you about. So, would you describe music a lot like carrying a conversation with somebody? You have to really listen to what they're saying, and then you talk and try to what am I trying to say? It's a lot like having a conversation with somebody, right? You don't want to be too busy. You want to really, concentrate on what they're telling you. You want to think about it, and then you want to say something to reply. But a reply doesn't always mean a ton of like crazy excessive notes. And, sometimes it's just an okay or thank you or I love you or something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the listening is 98% of every conversation. Being here right now, you know, like I think I can. I mean, I'll take a chance and step out there and say that any good performer is trying to bring the audience into the moment with them. You know, like for me, I'm much more performer than I am musician. A musician is someone that's trying to make things sound exactly perfect. And that's all they're really trying to do. That's all they really care about. Everything else is secondary. For me, having grown up in you know, the theater environment, like for me, it's really all about I want the people that are paying attention to me, that are there, that paid their money, that showed up. My desire is that they are there in the moment, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and have completely forgotten about anything else that bothered them throughout the day, throughout their week, their month, their life, whatever, that I can relieve them of their pain, their anguish, and their anxiety for the time they're with me, that we are together, that we're, however corny this sounds, that we are nirvana for that moment. Like that's my desire. That's when I feel the best, is when we are on an equal plane level, right there. You're in my bra with me.
Quick funny story. I used to love to put a little not as travel size, what is it, like the little personal size bean dip? I'd always put one of those in this side of my bra, and then like just some Cheetos, no, some Fritos on this side, so like at the party I could like get out my little can of bean dip and then just start like eating it with the Fritos. And it was always such a like little party trick. So to everybody listening at home, you too can pull off this party trick. And I feel like you could do this on stage, Spike, Mike, Harry, Scary.
Oh,
Put some bean dip and some Fritos in your bra and just start having a little snack, you know?
yeah. I may rob you of that wonderful there. Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
keep trying to convince the band to let me create the next merch like sensation of moob tops.
Wait,
Like
of what tops?
moob tops.
Moob tops. Take that on Shark Tank.
Right? I
Yes.
mean, come on.
I'm
Like,
about it. I will buy into this.
yeah.
Oh my God. You guys, thank you all for hanging out with me and Harry Scary of the Spice Pistols. We are live on the Sunshine Show. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. I want to thank everybody who's hanging out. Mama Cantu, Gilbert Barentes, Janet Eason, Jordan Branch, Erica Reese, Erica Hopi, Stephen, Corbin, Benjamin, and Vivian, all here with us. I love you all so much. If you guys have any last minute questions, comments, suggestions, drop them there in the comment section. We'll probably start wrapping this up in about 15 minutes or so. Okay, so let's see. We talked about Spice Pistols. We talked about the history of Spice Pistols. We talked a little bit about the collection behind you. We talked about the bands that you're in. I feel like there's so much more to you, though, Spike Mike. I don't know.
Okay, so there is now real quick, just one little thing about Spice Pistols that I want to make sure everybody understands. That is that we don't just do covers. We write originals like the Sex Pistols and the Spice Girls got together, had an orgy, and birthed songs. And as a matter of fact, right now we are 8 songs into a 10-song all original record. We're getting ready to release on Pacific Records very soon. You can find our last record, Spice Train, on all of the platforms, as well as our most recent single, Allies, was released through Pacific Records. Now, more about me.
Wait. Am I supposed to ask the questions, or I feel like you're kind of leading this conversation here?
Okay. So there's some projects coming up. There's some stuff I'm working on. Like one of the things that's really kind of interesting is I was recently approached by the U.S. Weed Channel, the world's first fully accredited, 100% legal, like licensed platform. 170,000 subscriptions around the world. That it's like for real. That I will also, there will be in the comment section links to, and you can look it up in the App Store right now, and you can get the app for free. There's a whole bunch of content there.
I feel like when you said the Weed Channel, my mom's ears kind of perked up. She was probably like, the Weed Channel. Oh, yeah.
Woohoo! Yeah, it's a really fun thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there right now. What I'm going to be adding to it personally is a music TV series. And what we're doing, what we're developing is going to be like they have right now the random acts of concerts. And so I'm going to be blowing that thing up, like doing San Diego local concerts. I'm talking to a bunch of different venues, and this is going to be utilizing numerous venues here. I won't mention names because I'm in talks with multiple venues right now, and there's always contractual stuff. And basically, the way it's going to work is there'll be a 40-minute set from a band and a 5-minute interview by yours truly, and then there'll be some advertisement, because that's the way it works. It's, you got to sell some airtime. But there will be concerts shown around the world from San Diego, California. And there's going to be, so it's a quarterly season. Season will be 10 episodes, and there will be, so the first 9 episodes will primarily be local up and coming bands that are building, that are working hard and getting there and are really talented. There is a crap ton of talent here in town in San Diego and in Orange County and in LA. I mean, but San Diego in particular is where we're building from, because like there's so much right here. And then there will be like a season finale with a more well-established band that's coming out of San Diego, that's earned and paid their dues and worked really hard. So that's something that's in development right now. We're working on funding. If anybody out there that's in the San Diego area is interested in or even if you're not, and you're interested in being involved in, buying some airtime and helping with some funding, feel free to contact me. If you want to contact me for anything, if you want to yell at me about my shirt or my chest hair or whatever else, you can reach me on all the socials. I'm Spike Mike with 2 P's. I'm the only one with 2 P's. The reason there's 2 P's is because I still think I'm 12, and PP is still fun to say.
I knew you were going to say that. Spike Mike with the PP.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like to say PP? Come on.
You are funny. You are so funny. Oh, my goodness. This has been one of the best interviews ever of all time. Next time I interview you, you're going to have to dress up as Harry Scary, because I feel like some people at home listening to the podcast right now just don't know. Okay, so for all the people that aren't seeing the visuals, for the people that are going to hear this podcast later, give us a really descriptive visual of how you look like on stage.
Okay, so here's the deal. Imagine Andre the Giant, but a smaller version. Remember the wrestler from the 70s, right?
Oh, everybody knows Andre the Giant.
Right. So imagine that dude, like, but with hair, like even more hair, like, yeah, like all. See, right now you're getting it right,
I
and
love
then
wrestling.
with a cod piece, but it's the scream face mask like that, right? And the best part about that is when Harry Scary turns around and bends over. Can you imagine what you see between his legs? Ah, yeah.
Stop it.
There's
You
that.
have a thong on or what?
I'm sorry. What?
Stop it. I can't even. I cannot even right now. I cannot even. We all
Yeah.
have to take a field trip down to San Diego to go see the
Oh yeah.
Spice
Yeah.
Pistols.
There's actually like there is a show coming up. We're doing it's kind of a tribute to Ginger Bingers, high school friends that'll be at the Till 2 in San Diego on June 20th. We're also going to be we just booked a show today. We'll be at the Doll Hut in Orange County on August 21st. We'll be up that way for anybody that's in that realm. Right now we're just kind of bumping around and having some fun, and I'm out there swinging my hips and trying to freaking hit y'all in the eyes as much as I can.
Oh, my eye. Okay. Do you remember the first time you performed as a Spice Pistol? What was the audience reaction? Shock, awe, or instant mosh pit?
Oh, pretty much all of that. Like every bit of it. The mosh pit happened from people trying to get the fuck out of the way. Like they just like, some were trying to find the bleach for their eyes and the others were just trying to find the exits.
Okay. Which song from your set list never fails to start a riot of joy or perhaps chaos?
Well, of course, Anarchy, like gets everything going, but like so don't assume that we don't do the Spice Girl songs like the Spice Girls. So when we do Say You'll Be There, it sounds much more like a train running over trash cans. But when I say that, I don't mean that we're not, everybody in my band has been playing music on stage for well over 25 years. Like we're a very tight, very skilled, very good band. Like we don't fuck around. Like, and the music the way that we present the music is respectful to the bands, like both of them. Now, like, I'm gonna make some people mad here, but I make Sid Vicious look like a fucking punk. Like, I'm sorry, that dude. Like, Steve Jones played the parts on the record, right? We all know that, and I'm a way better bass player than both of them.
All right, well, that's okay. It's good to have confidence. All right, it's good to have confidence.
Yeah, Glenn Matlock, love him, wonderful. But so, like, the thing is like, if you're not pushing to be better all the time, like, what are you doing? Like, come on, who wants to be sleepy in this life?
Like, 1000%. Not only as a musician, but just as a person in general, right? We should always just strive to be the best person we can be, and more importantly, better than we were yesterday. Because I feel like that's all we really have,
Right. Yeah. And at a Spice Pistols show, what we bring more than anything else is the energy. Like we try to feed the audience energy and then feed off the energy they give us back. Like that, that's really the exchange. And like we bring a high level of energy with, John Risden, aka Ginger Binger, and Michael Fairchild, aka maybe Baby Spice, our other front people besides me, like those guys. I mean, come on, like I'm not the only part of the show. Like those guys are frontmen in their own rights, as is Davey Hood, aka Posh, our drummer. Like everybody in the band is a front person, and everybody brings it. And like we all work very hard at entertaining and bringing the audience all their energy on stage with us and putting all our energy back into it. So our shows, that's what it is. It's a ball of energy that's like running around the room and just like that's what it's supposed to be. Punk rock is not about a lazy afternoon playing blues. Punk rock is about coming to a show to throw your energy out there, to release your anxiety, to freaking have some fun, to absorb positive energy, to be with friends, and to just have a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Uh, excuse me there. If the original Spice Girls saw your set, who do you think would cry and who would try to join the band?
You know, when we did America's Got Talent, Mel B was a judge, and she jumped right up and was like, "Yes, I love it."
That's so cool. That's
Yeah,
that's super awesome that she was a judge when you guys got to play. That's
yep.
fucking awesome.
And Simon Cowell, when we were done, and they all, you know, at the end they give you their critique. Simon Cowell said, "Well, at least you're better than the original." It's on tape.
Hey, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
All right, quick fire round, spicy style. Favorite Spice Girl, past, present, or reanimated?
Oh, well, definitely scary. I mean, scary. Yes. Yeah, definitely Mel. Yeah.
If punk rock were a dish, what would it taste like?
Oh, let's see. Teriyaki chicken.
Oh, shit. Finish this sentence. Harry Scary doesn't do blank.
Harry Scary doesn't do racism.
Love that. One word to describe your life on tour.
Diplomacy.
Okay, there we go. 17. Who would win in a cage match, Harry Scary or Sid Vicious in a union, Jack Romper?
Oh, Harry Scary. Sid's got nothing coming.
Excuse me. All right, and then we got a couple last questions. Anybody who is in the chat, if you guys have any last minute questions, drop them there. We're about to start wrapping this up soon. All right, what's next for the Spice Pistols? World domination, Vegas residency, or a line of hot sauces?
A lot of what?
A line of hot sauces.
Oh. Well, definitely world domination, because the world ain't doing so goddamn good right now.
Could you imagine Spice Pistols dominates the world? I would love to see that. Yes, please.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What keeps you coming back to the stage in Fishnets and Fury?
In a what?
What keeps you coming back to the stage in Fishnets and Fury?
Oh, you know what? Just the fact that like people need a break. Like people need a break. And one of the, as much as like my character shows up in a costume, and that part of it may be predictable, what I do at each show is never predictable. And that's the one rule we have in our band, and each of us respects the most, is that we are never predictable. You can never be predictable as a performer. If you are, there's no point in doing it.
I love stage performance. That's one of my favorite things in the entire world. I'd love to put on a good show. I'd love to just have a good time with my audience. So talking to you tonight has really, I just see myself in you, and I feel like you've been very inspiring, and it's been awesome to talk to you tonight. And I really can't wait to check out one of your live shows. It's going to be so fun. I already know it.
Yeah, I would love for you to. Maybe we should, figure out how, like, because as bodacious and ridiculous as Spice Pistols is, our band actually works well with pretty much any genre. And like maybe we should figure out how we can like put our bands together and do something.
That would be so much fun. All right, my last question for you. And then if you have more things to talk about, that's completely fine. This is your show. I'm just the host. What last words do you have for your fans, critics, or anyone who says punk is dead?
I'm open to discussion about any subject whatsoever, like pretty much any of it. Like, obviously, I mean, you're talking to a 62-year-old man that jumps up on stage in fishnets, a cod piece, and even a banana hammock when the hot pants are left at home on a world famous stage called the Belly Up. And there's evidence to prove it. Like, listen, punk rock isn't defined by anything other than a state of mind, an attitude. And when it comes right down to it, really yourself. Like, nobody can tell you what it is. I can't. I only know what it is for me. And the reality is that, you know, in this world, in this time, in this day, in this moment, all we really have is our own sense of right and wrong, our own sense of what we really want to do with our time while we're here, and the moment that we're in. All our plans, all our fucking ideas about even right or wrong is all fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, and there's a couple of thoughts I'm going to share with you. Like, one of them is that wisdom sucks. Wisdom absolutely fucking sucks because it doesn't come without dents, scrapes, and peeling paint. But I'll tell you this, I wouldn't want to be old without it because it just means I'm going to continue to get way deeper dents and way more peeling paint and all of that bullshit when my body just gets hurt more. You know, so I will say this, like, if you can learn to understand what being true to yourself really means, and you can have an open enough mind to ask those that have gone before you what they've learned, and then incorporate that into your own life, you're going to be better off at achieving the things you really want for yourself. You know, whatever. I mean, like, I've had a number of people, like musicians and you know, others ask me about how to do this, that, or the other, right, wrong, whatever else. And, you know, I've told them and I've watched them crash anyway. And, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. Now, one other note, you know, Sunshine asked her earlier about there being lots more to me. There is. Part of that is that I've been clean and sober for 30 years.
Congratulations.
April Fool's Day is my clean date, and that's not a joke. That's, you know, I reached the end of my party days at the age of 32, and on the 28th of this month, I'll be 63 years old, and I didn't really start reaching my dreams until I was capable of focusing. Whatever it means for you, that's what it means. But I will say this. Over the course of the last 30 years, the one thing I learned more than anything else is that I woke up human this morning before anything else. And what that means to me is that we're all fucking equal.
Yeah.
Period.
I love this, and I love you, and I love everything that you've talked to us about today. This has been really, really enlightening conversation, and congratulations on 30 years. You said your birthday's at the end of the month. Does that make you a Gemini?
Yeah, and I'm the worst kind.
I'm a Gemini too.
Woohoo! Yeah, I'm a double Gemini on the cusp of Taurus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so both of us are stubborn. I mean, both of us are stubborn.
I am my birthday is 6/11, and yeah, I don't know what exactly what kind of Gemini that makes me, but I know that I am a Gemini like none other, okay? Like none other, Spike Mike.
I get it. Yeah. Well, congratulations on your upcoming birthday.
No, thank you. My birthday month's about to be here, and I'll be birthdaying it up all month. I'm actually headed to Texas next week, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Radness, are you playing a gig out there?
I'm not. One of my best friends, Erica, her son Corbin is graduating high school, so I got to go and support my family, go see them, and I'm gonna go see my mama too for a little bit and just have a good time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Radness. That's awesome.
All right, cool. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we start wrapping this up?
Nope. It doesn't matter how many strings or whether you play with a pick or not. Just fucking play.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, guys, make sure to go follow Spike Mike, aka Harry Scary of the Spice Pistols, on all the platforms, on all the streaming platforms. Go check them out. If you're in San Diego or the surrounding area, go see a live show. This is some fun stuff, you guys. Support the family, support the fam bam. Thank you guys all for listening tonight, whether you were listening live or you're listening to the replay later. I appreciate you. You guys could be anywhere in the entire world and you're here with us, and it means the absolute world to me. All right, Spike Mike, you ready to get out of here?
Peace out, friends.
All right, see you guys next time. Love you guys. Bye.